Greetings on a Saturday. 15th or 16th now of July. Yeah, I don't often wear white t-shirts, period. I just like black t-shirts, but it's so hot. And this is my Dereck t-shirt. Relic from the 80s, and yeah, RAF, we played a show with Dereck back in the day. It was one of those really wild nights. And after seeing Dereck live, I don't understand why they didn't make it bigger. They were incredible and really good players. That guitar player was very interesting. For some reason, he reminded me of Alex Lifeson of Rush. I'm not sure why that was. So I'm coming on today so I can go ahead and talk to you a little bit about the new Black Midi album, because I really like it. And I've listened to it several times yesterday, trying to decipher some of what's going on. There's a lot happening here, and I even bothered to read through almost all the lyrics, trying to capture a flavor of what is really going on with this band. First thing I want to say is that it's interesting that the band uses a larger ensemble, but it only lists the band as a trio: the drummer, the bassist, and the guitarist. Now, I also have seen where in the press they have been described as some kind of newfangled guitar band. Interesting angle. I can see it because the main guy with that funky name, Geordie Greep. If that ain't a rock and roll name, I don't know what is, and it's probably his real name. He's really good, just like the drummer. Well, like I said, what I understand is they met in music school. And the bass player is a monster too. And this album is they're pushing themselves and pushing the music. And it's really interesting because it's futuristic, but there's all these references to the past in times when way before they were old, before they were born. And so it's intriguing, and the music is so multi-layered and it moves around so much that it's just a lot to take in, and it draws me in. It's fantastic. I just thought I'd show the fact that I've been following the band. I have their first album, and I have Cavalcade. And is this progression? Do I hear progression from Cavalcade to Hellfire? Good God Almighty, yes I do. Another comment I'd like to make is, this to me is what I consider modern progressive music. Like, for example, Porcupine Tree are labeled prog, progressive, but they just have a sound that they have created that's their own. But Black Midi is more my idea of what I consider actual progressive rock in the 21st century. That also brings to mind this other record that came out that people are talking about, some band called Born, B-O-R-N, Born, and they have a new album out called Birth. And when I was down at Homer's, Mark thought that I might be interested in it. You know, he said that seems to be something you might be interested in. So when I came home, I looked it up and checked it out, and it's a retro progressive rock sort of approach, which I'm not interested in. I'm not interested in new bands trying to sound old or trying to capture, unless they do something really unique with it. And what I heard of the Born album was, well, they put a lot of work into this, but this just doesn't interest me. This interested me when it was happening, as opposed to someone trying to recreate it for now. You know, I could easily change my mind if I heard the band again and something they did really struck me. My first impression was that's not what I consider truly progressive music. It's a throwback. So the new Black Midi is highly recommended. I also find it interesting that they could become big without doing anything overtly commercial. And by that I mean, it's interesting. The band is all over the place and very musically challenging. And then Jordy will do these slower songs. Like there's a song on here that's, it must be a love song as I, look at the words, which are kind of strange, but these are strange times. And he croons, kind of like a, it's not, he's not making fun. It seems like he's sincere in this crooning way that he sings. Now, because he's got looks, that's the other thing about the band, is they're young. They're only just now turning 23, I understand. And this is their third album. They're young and good looking as well as being good players. The looks make a difference. Jordy has a look. Because of my experience with the music industry going way back, I do understand the whole sex aspect of it. And Jordy is one of those kind of guys that a lot of people in the business want to fuck. Male and female. He's got that boyish charm look. And I know from experience that this is a big part of the big monster industry of entertainment and music that I've never been interested in. That's there still. What's interesting is that they really don't seem at all interested in that shit at all, which I always love. I love that. I love when people stay focused on what they're doing, their art. Black Midi, the new album, is awesome. Played some albums last night, got into kind of a psychedelic mood for a while, and then it switched. So I'll start there. I had recently bought this reissue of The Fallen Angels from the 60s. This is again, I highly recommend this. This is very ambitious. It is psychedelic, but it also takes in many other aspects of music. The lyrics are intelligent. This is really, really good. I posted it online because when I'm in the mood, I enjoy posting. It's like spending time with people. And some of the feedback I got was other folks are aware of how good this album is. Someone even put it on the same level as Forever Changes by Love. That's quite a compliment. I'm not going to disagree with it. One-man band Morgen. Don't know much about this, but this is, again, Fry material. This has that sound and that feeling from the 60s. Morgen. This is a reissue, but an old one, and so this has become collectible. But originals of this are very hard to find. I do have an original single on the Probe label from the album. Another album that generated some good feedback or interaction was online last night was Tripsichord, San Francisco band. I love this cover, and I was always intrigued when I finally saw this as a reissue in the 90s. I said, how did I never see a copy of this album back when it came out with that amazing cover? It's just a gorgeous cover. Now, when I first bought this and got it at home, my impression of the cover didn't fit the music. This is a San Francisco West Coast good time, good feeling kind of sound. Cousins to the Grateful Dead, I'll put it like that. But the songs are really good, and so it won me over time. It's like it's not what I want it to be. I have my own idea of of music for that cover, but that's really good. Played some of this, took it off, but I keep it. Apple Pie Motherhood Band. This is one where the band is young. They don't play very well, and it's scratchy. I was seeing if there's people in here that went on to other things, and there are. But the other one that I pulled from the A section that was real good is the Appletree Theater with the Boylan Brothers, right? Yeah. This is psychedelic and pop at the same time. Excellent. Again, people who follow psychedelic music, you know about this album, or you should. I'll put it like that. And then the last psych album I put on was one that I actually have owned since my teen years. The Fort Mudge Memorial Dump, and you can see by the wear and the tape on the seam. This came out in 1971. This was a very, very fortunate pickup as a cutout. I probably got this as a cutout when it didn't sell, so I probably picked it up as long ago as 1972 or 73. And when I got it home, I was struck by the musicianship and the quality of the songwriting. And I said to myself, wow, this is a very good album. What's the deal here? But again, they had a girl vocalist, but she didn't want to play the sex pot angle that helps sell records. So that's a real good album, people. You've never heard it before. Switched gears and put this on. Hadn't played in a long time. I still don't know anything about this band. Japanese. There's an ethnic koto drum aspect to this, as well as even a reggae feel to some of the songs, and then the other songs are just really flowing and peaceful and just really refreshing. Sounds like music being made on the side of a mountaintop, near a waterfall or something. It's just gorgeous. Wonderful feeling. They sing in Japanese, so I, again, have no idea what it's about, which for me is really probably good. Excuse me. Then I switched into some Tangerine Dream. Tangerine Dream is a strange band. They've been through so many changes. This album, VH1's New Visions New Age Music show used the song Central Park as their theme music, which I always liked and actually didn't know at first that it was Tangerine Dream, even though I already knew about Tangerine Dream. But as I said, I'm not a dedicated Dream collector that when something new comes out, I buy it automatically. It never has been like that. It's like when I come across it and I have the money, I get it. So I didn't know that at first about this album, but really like this album overall, and it's nothing compared to their early albums, sound-wise. They're in a whole new territory here. Really like this album. And then I played this one, Logos, live. Strange band. Part of this album, it's like, ooh, I don't like this. And then the next part of Logos is like, I really like this. I wonder if that's on purpose, if that's part of what the piece of music is supposed to do. But Tangerine Dream has always been a strange band to me. Strange. So take care, people. I see that the heat over in England is, and parts of Europe is off the charts. It's scary stuff. Yes, climate change is real. It's a shame that, we haven't been able to get more prepared for it because of money and greed. Those are the reasons why. Got to keep that commerce running. Got to keep that oil flowing. Keep those cars running. And we're all suffering for it. But that's the way it is, isn't it? And it's the way it's going to be. So, I'm going to drink some coffee today and relax. I don't have any plans today. Looking forward to the Stuart Chittenden interview podcast going online, because as I reflect on it, he asked some very good questions. And we got into talking about depression and my depression, which, it was great to get a chance to speak about stuff like that. So as soon as that's online, I will let you know. Take care, people.